Hey everyone, it's Kayvon, Resin Art. So remember when I told you that I'm going to show you how to start painting, resin painting? So this is the first step. You're gonna have to buy some supplies. So we're gonna head over to Michael's, and they have a whole bunch of specials right now on canvases and paints. So I'm gonna show you what to get. Oh, and ignore this. This is just from jiu-jitsu. You know, it happens. So I'm just bruised up a little, but I'm excited to show everyone how to get started. So stay tuned. So sometimes they have specials on their artist 3-packs for a beginner who's starting for to do some of these paintings, these types of paintings. I think it'll be good for you to start on the 3-pack artist canvases. So let's go see if we can find out where they're at. And sometimes they have specials like this right here. So sometimes they have specials, so you just have to watch. It happens like a couple times a year where it's 70% off of their stapled wrap canvases. So it's 70% off of pretty much all of these gigantic ones. So the problem is you're not going to be able to just straight off the bat do just resin on one of these canvases. I'm going to have to show you some tips and tricks just to start and learn. I think this is a great start for someone who just wants some art in the house, and that's a great price. So I'm going to buy one so that I can show you the basics of how to paint on this kind of stuff using resin. Okay, so now you need paints. So there's a wide variety of paints. You have oils, you have acrylics. I typically use oil. I don't use acrylic. There's certain reasons why I don't use acrylic. I think it's because acrylic, you have to add heat to the resin, and sometimes if you add too much heat, the acrylic, because you're trying to move it, the acrylic starts bubbling up and burning. I typically like oil because the oil just withstands more heat. So I would basically start with a few colors, and this is what I was taught in art school. So the first color I would start with is a cadmium yellow. This is what you need. It doesn't have to be this brand. I would do a cadmium yellow, a cadmium red, a French ultramarine blue, a burnt sienna, burnt umber, ivory black, and titanium white. I would tend to get a bigger size on the titanium white because you're going to need more of it, but you're going to have to learn how to mix the rest of your colors. Eventually, you can always, add more over the years if you start picking this up and you really enjoy doing it. But it can get pretty expensive. So obviously, as you can see here, this is kind of, the level 1. You get higher pigment ratio with the higher oil colors. The more expensive are over here, and it's just more pigment and smaller amount of tube, basically, and that's what adds the price. Price goes up. So what I would do to start off is I would just start with this right here. You can do oil paints. Sometimes they have specials like 40% off. So it'd be 40% off of each of these, which is a great deal. But the only problem is they don't have cadmium yellow. So you're going to have to go over here to this series and pay a little bit more. But at least you get your cadmium yellows and red. The other thing you're going to need is something to break down the pigment. And what I would typically do is I go to Lowe's and buy Floetrol. You can buy Floetrol for oil-based paints, and you can mix that into your pigment, and it'll water it down a little bit, as you can see, so it'll be easier to mix with a resin. And I'll show you how to do all that. Okay, so I ended up getting the 16 by 20 2-pack. I know it's not art grade, but it was like $4.99 from Michael's. So it's an amazing starter. It'll be good for you guys to test. I'm just using, the 16 by 20 because it's just a little larger and it'll help me demonstrate a little better. So we'll go from there. I'm going to go back to the studio and show you what we need to do next.